Well, hello Expandacraft fans. Sorry it's been so long since my last video, but I've been kind of busy. Anyway, I wanted to show you a little something abnormal. This is not an Expandacraft, although it is built by Expandacraft. That would be me. This is Tigger. I call it Tigger because it's the only one. The most wonderfulest thing about Tiggers. It has an interesting story, and I'll take you on a tour of Tigger. It is based on a Seawind 24 Catamaran sailboat. Parts of it once was a Catamaran sailboat. That would be the tops of the fiberglass hulls. About in the center line, you can see where the center line, the cap, if you will. Everything below that was custom made because the caps came off of the Seawind that had been crushed. Well, the lower hulls had been crushed while bouncing up and down on a bunch of rocks. That's not good for a sailboat. Don't do that. Well, anyway, I breathed a new life into it. It can't be a sailboat anymore because all the sailboat gear was gone, and it would have cost more to make it into a sailboat than it would to just turn it into something like this, which is a nice little touring boat. And I just got nice little wicker seats. You don't need to strap anything down because this boat is only about a 15-mile-an-hour boat. It's a go somewhere fun boat, not a go fast boat. I did everything you see here, all of the aluminum framing, the bimini top, which is a convertible top. It can quickly come off so that you can do tours in the winter when you want the sun on your head, or if you want to go stargazing. Center console, I made this console myself out of an old table. It's a mahogany slab here that I had inherited, this great big long table that I just didn't have room for, and I couldn't give the thing away. So it ended up being a lot of things, including a chair. I do have a little head on board. That's behind this area here. I'll swing over there and show you. It's pretty simple. Rather than having the head down into the crawl space of the hull, it's just a simple porta potty. It's way over to the side at the moment. Speaking of inside the hulls, now because the bottom of the hulls were made in 80 something and the tops were actually no, the top was made in 87. The actual hull of the boat was made in 2008, something like that. Well, anyway, it's not the same as it was as a stock boat. So it's bare fiberglass on the bottom. Now, here's where it really gets interesting. Now, you take a sailboat that used to have rudders hanging off of the back, and then you convert it into a motorboat with twin brand spanking new Honda 15 horsepower motors. Now, how does one make sure that the boat still sits level in the water, and will it be any lower in the water than it would be as a sailboat? Well, I did the weight calculations before I did this whole project, and it came out, even though I'm hanging off these engines which weigh 130 pounds apiece, and I'm hanging them off the back, there was a 10 horsepower, which is almost the same as one of those engines that was on the sailboat, and somewhat center console. But I also removed the mast, the boom, the sails, and all of the other sail rigging, including the dagger boards and the rudders. I actually removed more weight from the boat as it would be rigged as a sailboat than this thing weighs as a motorboat. So what happens is it's almost exactly the same water line. It's only slightly heavier in the back, but it's not so heavy in the back that you have to worry about it much. As you can see, it sits pretty well at the water line where it was designated as a sailboat. So really not much of a problem. Oh boy, if I had a nickel for every time somebody said that that's not going to work, Wesley, you can't hang a 15 horse motor on the stern of that thing. Well, with a little engineering, a little bit of forethought, Yes, yes, you can hang a 15 horse off of each end of a catamaran sailboat. You can't just bolt it on, no. But you got to do a little engineering. Not something that's beyond me. Now, what is going to happen next is I'm probably going to paint the whole thing, but in the front here between the bows, you got to remember this is a sailboat. It has a big, hefty bow, built full bow, so it takes those waves, big waves, bigger than I would ever take a paying customer out in. This thing's designed to be a very capable sailboat. As a motorboat, basically an overgrown pontoon, not going to be anywhere near that. But so in the front, I'm going to put a net, a tramp in between the bow, the tip of the bow, and this first cross tube, and that's where I'll throw the dinghy, and that will be an Expandacraft, a 16-footer, I believe. And then if I want to take people out on other tours, I can strap other Expandacraft and their personal kayaks or flotation devices, or have some blow-ups on board so that I can deploy people to have some fun. Also, speaking of which, having fun, come see Expandacraft in Panacea, Florida. You look it up, it's a beautiful place. It's south of Tallahassee. Tallahassee is the capital city of Florida, and we are on the Gulf of Mexico in a beautiful wilderness called Panacea. And we have an RV camper to rent, and you can book a charter on Tigger with me, Captain Wesley. Please make comments and subscribe if you haven't already, and hope to post another video real soon.